We're going to talk about this. Look at this. I got this email. It's from Google AdSense, right? Because I'm on the YouTubes, which is owned by Google, which I guess is owned by Alphabet, which I'm sure is owned by another company. Google, it's all one company. I'm pretty sure that's the whole goal, right? Isn't the whole goal one company? So this is what we got in the mail. I think it was today. It's from Google AdSense. So Google AdSense is what places the ads on all the videos on YouTube, and it says this: due to the war in Ukraine, we will pause monetization on content that exploits, dismisses, or condones the war. So none of this makes sense. All this is propaganda speak. So they can point to something when they want to censor you. Such claims that the Ukraine is committing genocide. What if Ukraine is committing genocide or deliberately attacking its own citizens? What if they do that? They attack their own citizens. The people who wanted to overthrow the government attacked their own citizens, which was the neo-Nazis.
If you're at all curious, of course the Massalorian got one of those. Ape Nation, what's going on? Guys, it's Thursday, April 14th. What's the date today? 14th. It's April 14th, 2022. And I came home today and saw Jimmy's video saying that Google was threatening YouTubers over Ukraine war coverage. And I've had my suspicions that this was going to happen. But we're going to get into the subject matter that I said I'm going to bring to you for days now. We're going to talk about AMC, GME, the AMC token. What is it? Does it have anything to do with AMC? And we'll talk about the video challenge and what's going on with Johnny Boy. All that and more when we come back from the intro. So, before we get too far ahead of ourselves,
cue the speeder.
This is the way.
And that's not hyperbole. It's about being made in America. A lot of that has to do with this industry.
So that was our president the other day. I don't know what that jacket's made out of that causes corn to explode on impact. Hard corn kernels that have just been ripped off the husk. I don't know how all of a sudden it's going to explode on impact. I don't know what that sport coat is made out of, but all right, let's get serious. Let's take a look in on our stocks. AMC today finished the day down only 50 cents. We had a very steady day. It was just a lot of ping-ponging. Nothing to be excited about. GME actually closed up today in the green, 7 cents at 150.77. Now, I know there's been some reporting out there about this AMC token, and the only thing I can tell you is it has nothing to do with our company that we own. It is not funded. It is not associated with AMC at all. It says right here in the article, AMC has not announced the coin and has not indicated any connection to the Ethereum-based token. Adam Aaron, who is pretty transparent with investors, has also not mentioned the token on his Twitter or followed the official account of the AMC token. Now, I don't know if you guys know about Final Stand, Matt Wallace, the guy who promotes Dogecoin all the time. Allegedly, he has had more than one rug pull for crypto launches in the last 6 months. I actually listened to one of his space calls from a couple of weeks back on his latest, I don't know what it was called, Baby Shibu Lambo Inu or something. I don't know what it was called. But whatever it was, he pulled the rug on people, or allegedly he did, or the people that were working with him on the crypto launch pulled the rug on people, and people are pissed. And guys, be careful for that all the time. I never tell you what to do with your money, but watch out for the exploitation that people are taking advantage of out there with crypto coins. Just be extremely careful. Look into everything. Do your good solid DD. All right, so let's talk about these war crimes and atrocities that are supposedly going on. Now, the reason I got into this whole thing was because of a speech that Zelenskyy gave at the Greek parliament just over a week ago. And he actually sent 2 members of his Azov battalion to Athens to talk in front of the Greek parliament. Ethnic Greeks have been there since the Bronze Age. They settled the area way before Alexander the Great conquered the East. They were there when the Minoans and the Mycenaeans were kind of creating their mini empires. And so they've been there ever since. And once the Greek parliament found out who these Azov guys were, they came out with a tweet here saying that Greece will no longer supply weapons to Ukraine, said Defense Ministry Nikos Panagiotopoulos. Now, I don't know what the Greeks are thinking. After they threw the Italians out of Greece in World War II, the Germans came in and steamrolled them. So why they would be supporting right-wingers or anything like that makes no sense to me. So shout out to them for taking the right steps on this. This video is 2 years old. Yeah, it's 2019. You guys have to see what was going on here 2 years ago at the front lines with Zelenskyy. And if you think for a second that Zelenskyy is in full control and there's no one influencing him and he is doing everything on his own accord and, you know, he's not taking orders from anyone else, he's actually one in charge, watch.
О том, что демилитаризация украинских граждан, мы бы хотели это все обсудить и...
By the way, they're speaking Russian right now, not Ukrainian.
Если ты со мной хочешь формализировать отношения?
В меморандуме.
Я с тобой?
Не я с вами, а все люди, которые в этом процессе, те, которым болит за Украину.
Капитуляция, прошу так.
Формализация.
Я пришел, тебе сказал, вы оружие вывезете, а ты меня переводишь стрелки.
Так я вам второй момент уже озвучил. Я вас услышал, вы сказали.
Ты мне вообще не можешь никакие ультиматумы озвучивать, Денис, ты не понял.
Так я вам ультиматум, я говорю, это были люди.
Нам за эти оружие забрать?
При чем здесь? Я вам говорю за второй момент.
закончим сейчас разговор.
Так мы нормально общаемся.
Ну так и давай нормально общаться.
Я вам и рассказываю, что, собственно, в этом письме. Вы же сами спросили
Денис,
только что.
Послушай,
Да,
я президент этой страны.
конечно.
Мне 42 год. Я ж не лох. Я тебе пришел и сказал, оружие уберите. А ты меня не переводи на акции.
Причем мы с вами уже поговорили, вы потом
Я
спросили
не поговорил
за
с тобой, я хотел увидеть в глазах понимание.
Ну.
А увидел парня, который решил, что перед ним какой-то лопух стоит, и переводишь меня на другую тему.
Так какая другая тема? Мы уже этот момент обсудили, я вам следующим и сказал.
Нет,
Еще один
я
момент,
услышал,
можно?
что окей, ты мне скажи ок, все.
Ну так у нас нет оружия в руках. Ну,
Это значит, ты меня не услышишь.
ну слушайте.
Парни, это я вам сейчас сказал серьезно.
So guys, that was just 2 years ago on the front lines in the Donbass region. The president was going there to tell those guys to put down their weapons because they had agreed to a ceasefire back in Kyiv. And these guys want to continue fighting. They were even getting wise with him, telling him, oh, we don't have any guns in our hands right now. And you can see him going to threaten them to come take the weapons because they won't lay them down. Now, I can't officially say that I've been able to debunk any of those words as not being as they were translated. But it looks like to me that we have a straw man in the presidency in Kyiv. Now, this is another video from the BBC, and they are so blatant about this. It seems like they don't even care. But BBC is running with this story about what's going on in Bucha with these tragedies here. You can see here, this is a Orthodox priest, and you'll notice that the 3 or 4 soldiers behind him, these arm patches here, 1, 2, 3. 3 different arm patches. I want to show you what those arm patches are. Yeah. So those symbols on the coats of those soldiers are from Ukraine's ultra-nationalist right sector. Now, this article is from 2014. Goes in and talks about this group, how they were neo-Nazis who threatened the Russian-speaking population. The right sector is trying to portray itself as a responsible party, but enough doubt remains about its attitude and intentions to cause unease in both pro-Kyiv and pro-Moscow camps. They don't care what side you're on. By early February, he said right sector had about 500 fighters on the Independence Square and could mobilize up to 5,000 nationwide. That's a lot of soldiers. They want a Ukraine just for Ukrainians. Now, the fact that Google today sent out those emails to everyone should tell you everything you need to know about this war. They're basically coming out and saying that there's no way possible, as Jimmy pointed out, that the Ukrainians could have done this. Scott Ritter, who was one of the weapons inspectors back in the early 2000s, who went to Iraq to look for WNDs, had his Twitter account suspended. This is Max Blumenthal right here. Apparently, according to Scott, he thinks as things stand right now in Ukraine, there's a far greater likelihood that Zelenskyy will be arrested and charged as a war criminal rather than Putin. The direct evidence of Ukrainian war crimes complete with proof of intent is overwhelming, and yet the Western media ignores it. And unfortunately, because of these new rules, and I don't want to get a strike, I can't go into a lot of those details. But again, the suspension of the account, the letter we just got from Google Ads, should tell you everything you need to know about what's going on right now. And this tweet right here from Hassan Mafi says, Scott Ritter is not just somebody on Twitter. He's an expert. Banning people like him makes it very obvious that they are trying to hide something. Last time they banned him was because he talked about Buka. Now he's talking about Buka and they ban him again. I mean, come on. And really, guys, it's really crazy that they are censoring Scott Ritter on this. But if you go do the research on the people who you can see in the pictures, as far as the condition of their bodies, how they would look after so long being outside, when everybody is beating up and ganging up on one person or a few people out there, you know you're onto something. And unfortunately, you guys will have to go do your own DD. But I would say if you want to go look, I'll point you in the right direction. Go check out some of the announcements that were made when the Russians pulled out of Buka. What was going up on Twitter? What was the mayor talking about? Who did they say was in the neighborhood looking for Russian collaborators and possibly bad actors who helped out the Russians before they left? Who would naturally go after them if they're collaborating with the Russians? You wouldn't think the Russians would tie them up and kill them. But you'll have to make up your own mind when you see all the facts laid out about who's really going to be responsible and guilty at the end. I have my suspicions, but that's how they are at this point. And before I let you go, let me just say really quickly about JOHNWICKSNIPIN and what's going on with the video. I have no issues with what John said. He's a grown man. He makes his own decisions about his portfolio, what he wants to do with his stock. I spoke with him earlier today. He still has his AMC, as do I. We're not going anywhere in this movement. He's got his agenda that he wants to go after and things that he wants to talk about. And so I got no qualms with John. We're still in communication, and we're still going to be putting the video out. We're just going to figure out where it's going, who it's going to. All right, guys, it's getting late. I'm going to let you go. Unfortunately, I couldn't take this as far as I wanted to. I had to cut a lot of this out because of the new rules, but they are what they are, and I don't want to get a strike. As always, thank you for all the views, the comments, the likes. My new subscribers, my OGs, I appreciate each and every one of you. We are here to break the wheel. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.